Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Good Boxing Podcast with your host, Josh Saez. And I just finished watching Fury versus Deontay Wilder 1 and Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2 to get ready for this upcoming weekend. Now, it's been a while since I watched both fights, and truthfully, I can't believe time and all of the cliche kind of references to memory and time were actually true. I watched Tyson Fury versus Wilder 1, and I remembered a completely different fight. I remember Tyson Fury dancing around, boxing very, very well. I remember having Tyson Fury up very comfortably, and then Deontay Wilder with those two knockdowns in the fight essentially made an argument for him to get a draw, but I didn't see Deontay Wilder winning the fight, nor did I see it being very close. However, upon rewatching, I saw a lot of different things in this first fight. I saw round one, Tyson Fury actually hurt Deontay Wilder in the first round with a nice big overhand right. And I saw Wilder using a very good jab to pop Tyson Fury to the body and to the head. And I did see Tyson Fury just look very, I don't want to sit here and say that Tyson Fury looked weak, but when John Fury spoke about Tyson Fury and Ben Davison, and I really got enamored with the relationship that they share for one another, I didn't realize that John Fury was right. I noticed Tyson Fury looked a lot less strong, in my opinion. I don't feel like he was taking the punches of Deontay Wilder necessarily as well as he did in the second fight. I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I did watch both fights, and I did want to immediately tell you more or less what my first impressions were upon rewatching Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 1. I noticed Deontay had a very nice stance. I know people think Deontay Wilder got basically blown out in the first fight, but Deontay Wilder landed a lot of body jabs. He landed a lot of head jabs, and he also bloodied Fury's nose with a couple of jabs. I don't think Deontay Wilder won many of the first few rounds, but you could arguably say that round one was a very close round. And then I gave the next few to Fury. I gave him round two, round three, round four, round five. Then in round six, I noticed Tyson Fury decided to open up a little bit more. And I think this was the round that Sugar Hill Stewart in the second fight built his game plan off of. Tyson Fury was putting his pedal on the gas, putting his foot on the gas, and really putting a lot of pressure with his jab on Deontay Wilder. He would land an occasional big shot over the top, and Deontay Wilder would immediately try to respond back, but he couldn't, and he was just falling short. Tyson Fury was doing a good thing where he would lean to make the right miss and then switch southpaw to make the hook miss with the shoulder. But little by little, you saw him getting closer and closer to Tyson Fury. But in this round, I also wanted to notice, I wanted you to notice that there is a big right hand to the body that Deontay Wilder lands that really hurts Tyson Fury. And you noticeably can tell when Tyson Fury backs up and you see him hurt. And I just want you guys to kind of keep that in mind for down the line. So I'm watching this fight. Tyson Fury is peppering Deontay Wilder with jabs, but Deontay Wilder is hitting Tyson Fury with jabs, and he is falling a little short with the right hand. And Tyson Fury is winning. I'm not going to sit here and say that Deontay Wilder did not win rounds, but you see that. I'm not going to sit here and say that Deontay Wilder didn't lose a lot of these rounds, but they were a lot closer than you saw. And there are some other things that I noticed that I will kind of go into in a second. So I gave round 7 to Fury. I gave round 8 to Fury. And then round 9 comes. And everyone remembers the first knockdown came in round 9. Now, there was tremendous foreshadowing that this was going to occur. I didn't notice it back then, but in round 7 and 8, Tyson Fury did not change the cadence of his slips and rolls. And instead of basically timing the right hand, I felt like he kind of fell into autopilot and he was trying to bump that shoulder onto onto Deontay Wilder when he would bend. And Deontay Wilder got the timing and dropped Tyson Fury. He hit him with the overhand right and followed up with the hook. Now, the hook didn't land with knuckles. The right hand grazed his head, and it was nowhere near the right hand that hit him in the last round. But one thing I did notice was Tyson Fury was hurt, and upon backing up, Deontay Wilder tried to go for the kill, clearly due to frustration and the boxing skills of Tyson Fury. So brings him to the ropes, runs in. Tyson Fury hits him with a big left hook, basically from the left-hand stance. And immediately it stuns Wilder, and I think it shocked Wilder. Deontay Wilder went to go finish him, and he couldn't. And Tyson Fury hits him with a big shot. Now, to me, this is where Tyson Fury started to make the switch. Okay, I can hurt this guy. I know I might have to step to him, but now I have to do it. If I don't get this guy off of me, he's going to stop me, and his momentum is going to carry him to a potential knockout or a stoppage. Now, I can't sit here and explain to you enough how Deontay Wilder in this fight was a case study on someone, one, losing confidence in his ability in his right hand, and two, someone that was basically unraveling before our eyes. When he landed the punches that he thought that were going to end the fight, every time he gained some sort of, all right, I hit this guy, I've destroyed everything, all of a sudden someone was able to take his power and then come back and give it back to him. Now, Tyson Fury wasn't the biggest puncher, or known as the biggest puncher, but he does pack a punch, and he's 260. No matter how you slice it, someone who's 260 is still a 260-pound man that could transfer weight and hit you with something, right? And I think Deontay Wilder found this out the hard way. Upon running in, he ran into a couple shots, and he kind of ruined his chance for a potential knockout because Fury was hurt. His legs were a little shaky, and he was trying to get out the round, and even the hugging and the holding, like you saw, he wasn't 100% right. But round 10 comes. Fury all of a sudden becomes a little more aggressive. And in the corner, I keep hearing instruction from Ben Davison, who at the time I thought was the right man for the job because he brought Tyson Fury back. He motivated him back into the spotlight. But again, I'm only speaking from hindsight 2020 and having the ability of hindsight 2020, especially upon the second fight and seeing someone do it better than you. I have the privilege of being able to do that. And watching it in the fight, every time Fury ran, he tried to pepper with the jab, then roll and shoot. You gave Deontay Wilder his best chances. Every time Fury opened up, stood his ground, and backed Deontay Wilder up, you saw that he had success and truthfully was a little safer. He was posting a little more. And one thing that drove me crazy was he was hurting Deontay Wilder with these big shots. And instead of continuing going to the body, because clearly Wilder did not hurt him when he was in close quarters, and clearly he never stepped back and threw an overhand right. In fact, he never even threw punches from his hands up position. The only time he ever threw was when his hands were by his waist. And on the inside, if his hands were by his waist, he would eat shots from Tyson Fury on the inside. But Ben Davison, as much as I like him, I understood what he was trying to do. Freddie Roach and Ricky Hatton made a good point. Instead of putting his foot on the gas, he kept saying, be careful, tie him up, tie him up. And what Ben Davison didn't realize was Tyson Fury was battling with someone who was almost his same size. He didn't use the size advantage, and he should have ragdolled and went to the body and threw some uppercuts. But again, this is a different Tyson Fury, different trainer. And again, I have the benefit of hindsight 2020. But hindsight being 2020, I think Tyson Fury would have benefited from being more offensive. I know people were like, oh, in the 12th round, he found it. No, this offensive strategy was presenting itself throughout the fight. And I'm privy to the fact that sometimes when you look at tape, you're like, shit, this was obvious. Maybe I should have did it this way. But it is what it was, and the fight continues. So round 11, Tyson Fury is doing his thing. Tyson Fury is doing well. And then finally, round 12 comes, and you guys know what happened. Tyson Fury gets caught with something again, falls asleep, tries to throw a lazy shot, and then dips. And upon dipping, Deontay Wilder did not fall for the dip, and he got clipped over the top. The right hand is what sent him down, and the hook again didn't land with knuckles, because if he landed with knuckles on the hook the way he could have with that right hand, this fight would have been over. I still can't believe he got up, and truthfully, Tyson Fury, I don't know what's going on, but he got up and tried to survive for a little while, but then he put his foot on the gas and hurt Deontay Wilder with some big shots. And the fight's over. So first things first, I think in this fight, a lot of people remember Fury completely and utterly dominating with boxing. But there were a few rounds that, upon rewatching, Fury won, but it wasn't like he won convincingly. He was doing a lot of showboating. He was, landing some clean stuff. But Deontay Wilder also landed some jabs. I mean, for fuck's sakes, he made Deontay made Tyson Fury's nose bleed. He caught him with some hard right shots. And Tyson Fury, for the most part, I feel won. But if you had a few rounds for Deontay Wilder the other way, I see it. Because, again, Deontay Wilder would land the more thudding, harder shots, hard jabs. He would land some body shots I don't feel he got a lot of credit for. But the two knockdowns 100% make the fight arguable for a draw. I didn't remember this either, but the PBC guys had Deontay Wilder a shoo-in to win with the two knockdowns, and I didn't see it that way. But I guess they really valued the two knockdowns, and maybe there were two rounds that you could give to Deontay Wilder. I don't see three, but I see it. And the judges' scorecards were, in my opinion, whatever. You had one person for Deontay Wilder, you had one person for Tyson Fury, and then you had the draw. But upon rewatching the fight, one, Ben Davison, you did great bringing the Gypsy King back, but for this fight, I don't think you had a good game plan. I think you were trying to dance around too much. Tyson Fury was capable of stepping to this man and stopping this man. But again, the body type, he's tricky. He was going to use feints. He was going to use all these little tricks. A lot of holding. I thought maybe, hindsight 2020, the holding could have been better. You could have hit on the hold. You could have, leaned up on Tyson Fury, leaned up on Deontay Wilder like you did in the second fight. But tactically, I thought he showed a lot. He showed he could move. He showed he could roll. And believe it or not, Deontay Wilder did better when Tyson Fury was boxing. So for as much as Deontay Wilder gets shit for his bad boxing, I think he had more success in the first fight than in the second fight, in a brawl, where that should, in theory, benefit Deontay Wilder, right? The guy with the power, the boogeyman. But Tyson Fury outbrawled him in the second fight. So I'm going to talk about the second fight, just to kind of keep the stream of consciousness going. As you can tell, it's just me looking at myself in the computer screen. I don't really have anything up, but I more or less like to see how my diction's going and just pretty much go from there. I noticed in the second fight that round 1, 2, and 3 were a continuation of the 12th. I know people don't see it because you remember Tyson Fury blowing out Deontay Wilder. And I don't blame you, because that night, I don't think we expected Tyson Fury to do what he did, and a lot of people didn't. But if you rewatch the first fight, you saw that in rounds 10, 11, and 12, you saw Tyson Fury be a little more aggressive and have success upon backing Deontay Wilder up. But if you don't remember, and you remember the knockdown and the blowout, in round 1, 2, and 3, Deontay Wilder landed some really, really heavy right hands that if Tyson Fury made a mistake and didn't look it off, he was going to sleep. And a lot of people forget that. I mean, Tyson Fury's eye was basically black in the press conference, and it landed in round 1, 2, and 3. The overhand right landed. He was clearly just trying to use that body jab to shoot over the top with the right hand. Yes, Tyson Fury did make some tactical adjustments with the post, and he stopped using the rolls as much and like the shoulder roll dipping to the side. And he just kept a straight up stance where he was trying to catch the right hand with his left. And tactically, I love what he did. He blocked it. Deontay Wilder would try to throw it. And then he would shut it down by holding. But when he held this time, clearly you saw he was bigger. You saw him stronger. And you saw him go to the body. He was starting to wrestle and lean on Deontay Wilder and impose his size to essentially tire out the man that was supposed to be the boogeyman with the power or Thor's hammer in the right. Then around 4, 5, 6, and 7, you know what happened. He completely obliterated Deontay Wilder. But in this fight, again, hindsight being 2020, you saw the strategy of going forward work. But in the second fight, there was something that I saw that Deontay Wilder did in the first fight. He didn't do it in the second fight, but did it in the first fight. And that was the ability to punch out of the guard. He never could punch with his hands up. And going backwards, going with his hands down, Deontay Wilder cannot punch going backwards as much. I'm not sitting here and saying that he doesn't have hard shots, but upon rewatching both 1 and 2, and then watching what Malik Scott has been showing in the Deontay Wilder training videos, I think I've kind of stumbled upon what Deontay Wilder is going to try to do. So I'm going to sit here and tell you straight up, I think Tyson Fury is going to win the fight. That's my prediction. I think Tyson Fury is going to win a decision. I think Tyson Fury is the better boxer, and I think Tyson Fury has the chance to stop Deontay Wilder as well. I think it's going to go to a decision, and here's why. Malik Scott has been showing and basically divulging us to the fact that he feels Deontay Wilder has other tools and he could bring him out of Wilder. Now, I have seen Wilder box before, and in the first fight, you saw Tyson Fury get hit by jabs. So I think when Deontay Wilder knocked out Brazil in the first round, and I mean, truthfully, devastating fashion, I think a lot of people forgot that Brazil hurt him. Dominic Brazil hurt him pretty bad, actually. And then he recovered and ended up knocking Brazil out in the first round. But I feel like Deontay Wilder got so in love with the right hand that he stopped doing other things that made his right hand deadly. He went to the body, yes, but that was the only jab he was throwing. So Tyson Fury said, all right, I'll eat a body jab. I'll keep my right hand up and I'll post, shoot my jab, and that should be able to sustain offense enough to set up something big and continue my forward momentum. When I get inside, I'm going to wrestle and bully Deontay Wilder where he can't set his feet. So I think here are the things that Malik Scott are going to do. One, you're noticing that he's using footwork. He's using a lot more footwork. He's trying to get Deontay Wilder to be lighter on his feet. And I understand why he's trying to do that, because in the first fight, there were moments where Wilder was moving backwards and he wasn't looking to pop hard shots, but he moved around and he actually made Tyson Fury miss. He was trying to use a little bit of head movement and he was doing okay defensively. He didn't parry a lot or kind of shoulder roll or even keep the left hand up. But if you notice, Malik Scott is really focusing on getting that left hand up, making sure every time he moves, he can jab with the hand up. He can do a lot with the hands up, whether it's a straight right hand or anything from the hands up position. Any sort of resistance to stop Fury from coming forward is good. And you mix that in with some light feet, Deontay Wilder can move around the ring. I mean, look, Fury is going to come in and looks big. Deontay Wilder looks big as well, and you could tell he's been lifting weights and doing a lot. But I've seen Wilder move before. I've seen him move on Luis Ortiz. I've seen him move on Bermain Stervern. So he can dance a little bit, and I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to become Tyson Fury overnight, but I think Malik Scott's going to try to make him, when he goes backwards, circle out, move around, keep the hands up, and make Tyson Fury run into a right hand, whether it's straight, overhand right. He's going to set that up, and I'm not going to sit here and say he could just step back and throw a right hand with some body work. I don't know if you noticed the body shield. But if you remember back to what I was saying before, Tyson Fury got hit with a right hand to the body, and it really, really hurt him. And when I say it hurt him, you saw it hurt him. So there's going to be emphasis on body punching and trying to wear and break down Tyson Fury. I expect Deontay Wilder to box a lot. And this is why I'm picking this fight to go to decision, because I don't think Wilder is going to knock Tyson Fury out. Tyson Fury is coming in really big and he knows what to expect. And defensively, I can see him adjusting to what Deontay Wilder is going to bring. But I don't expect Wilder to try to just knock him out with one shot. I expect the first couple of rounds, Wilder to kind of box, move, take his time, settle himself into the fight, and not let the steamroll that kept coming at him continue. I think he got caught up in a firefight that he was unprepared for mentally. I'm not sitting here and saying that Deontay Wilder physically can't hurt Tyson Fury, because even in the second fight where Tyson Fury knocked him out and stopped him, or TKO stopped him, you saw that Wilder had some success with the right hand. So I expect Wilder to use his jab more. I expect him to move around, and I expect him to go to the body a lot more. I do see him trying to work on the inside a little more, and seeing him put on some muscle is his attempt to thwart the efforts of Tyson Fury on the inside, where he's trying to hold him and wrestle him up. And maybe on the inside, he could hit some hard body shots with what he's been practicing. Now, do I think he could pull it off? No. I think this fight's going to be a lot closer than people realize, but I don't think Tyson Fury is going to be in too much jeopardy. He may struggle at certain points, but I do see Tyson Fury winning a tough but comfortable decision. Maybe 7-5, maybe 8-4, but something that's clear. I don't think this fight's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a knockout. I think both guys are going to come ready. Tyson Fury's not going to just be predictable and come forward to try to blast him. I know he's saying that, but I do expect Tyson Fury to box a little more and use his boxing IQ and even whip out the southpaw. I mean, we barely saw Tyson Fury be lefty against Deontay Wilder. And you saw against Luis Ortiz that the lefty position with the angles that Tyson Fury is capable of using can give some problems. I just don't know if Deontay Wilder in one camp with Malik Scott can completely change and become just a chameleon overnight, where he can just learn a bunch of different things and whip it out against arguably the best boxer in boxing. If you really think about it, pound for pound, I don't see that. But I do see Tyson Fury maybe getting caught with something, rocked. I don't know if he'll get stopped, but I can see Deontay Wilder setting some stuff up, especially with that jab. If he brings it to the head, he could do some stuff, man. Deontay Wilder has some power. But as much as I want this fight to be close and more competitive, so you get a fourth one, it's going to end. Tyson Fury is going to end the trilogy with an exclamation point. So that's my prediction. Tyson Fury is going to win via decision. If he gets a knockout, so be it. But Tyson Fury is definitely going to pull this fight off. I do see the odds dropping, though, for Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is now a minus 275. When I last looked at it a few days ago, he was almost a minus 300 to a plus 350 in Tyson Fury. I'm sorry. He was a plus 250, plus 350 for Wilder, and a minus 375 for Tyson Fury. But this fight, to me, is going to be very exciting. And after watching round 1 and 2 between the guys, I can see Deontay Wilder trying to box a little more. He has some success. I know it's not the clean, clear success that people want, but it's not like he didn't make Tyson Fury miss. It's not like he didn't hit Tyson Fury with a lot of body jabs and jabs to the head. It's not like he didn't bloody his nose in the first fight. I think Malik Scott's going to look at that and also look at the second fight, that he didn't try a lot of the things that he did in the first fight. I felt like he just looked for the right hand the whole night. And when he got forced back, he was a little shocked. And once the eardrum got busted, the legs went. And there were times Tyson Fury was leaning on him, and Deontay Wilder clearly had a busted eardrum, and he was standing up. So that's a testament to his strength. And maybe that's why he's doing all these bench press videos and whatnot. But yeah, that's the episode for today. I watched round 1 and 2. I remember the fight being a lot more one sided, which it was. I thought Tyson Fury won, but I can totally see a draw if you had one of the early 1 or 2 rounds or a really close round for Wilder based off the 2 knockdowns. So I don't think there was a robbery. I just feel like Tyson Fury in that last round, even though I feel like he almost won it, to be honest with you. But with the knockdown, you got to give it to Wilder, and it was a devastating knockdown. So that's that. Sorry about my voice; it's a little hoarse. But yeah, I'm back. Got some episodes coming, and enjoy the fight.